Happy Supernatural Saturday. It is Coach Andrea here. And today I wanted to come and talk about something that I'm hearing kind of discussed behind closed doors. But I've heard it enough that I wanted to bring it out into the public and address it. And let me preface it by saying that I am in no way comparing suffering. I'm in no way minimizing anyone's traumatic or painful experiences and saying one is worse than the other. I just want to bring out a difference to try to help people who are struggling with this understand what may be going on. And what I'm hearing, and of course this is the population that I work with, is I'm hearing people say the pain of betrayal, the fear of being in a marriage where you've been betrayed, the recovery process for that has been so bad that they don't feel a whole lot of fear or anxiety or worry about this coronavirus. And it is creating a sense of like, is something wrong with me? Why am I not concerned? Like, have my senses, my emotional senses been so dulled that now I can't have a care or concern or worry about other things that are going on? And this could be true, like if you've been through any type of traumatic experience that was isolating. I hear this from parents who have lost children. I hear this from people who have struggled with mental health issues. And the commonality between those types of experiences is that when you go through something that is not well understood or commonly talked about in a public setting, those types of experiences are very isolating. So when you're betrayed in your marriage, it's not something that you sit around and discuss with groups of people unless it's like a support group or you're in your therapist's office. When you are experiencing depression or anxiety, that's not something that you sit around and discuss with a group of people. And I'll give you an example of, I think, what may help you understand what you're experiencing. Right in the midst, like right at the center of my recovery from my betrayal trauma, my oldest sister got very ill. She had multiple sclerosis, and ultimately she ended up passing away. So for 2 years, the last 2 years of her life, she was in and out of the hospital. It was just very painful. There was a lot of trauma of watching her suffer. It was hard. It was hard for my family. She was young. She was 49 when she passed away. She had 2 kids. Just so many things that we were processing. But I noticed for me that even losing my sister was not as hard as the pain of the betrayal. And I think a large part of that is because I could grieve publicly the loss of my sister. I could post on Facebook that I was missing my sister, that I was sad about the things that was happening with my sister. I could talk about it with my family collectively, and there was this shared grief. But when you're going through something like betrayal trauma or depression or anxiety, something that isolates you, that you're not safe to share with other people, it's not a shared experience. It feels like you're bearing that burden alone. And for those of us who are walking on the other side, who have gone through the recovery journey, you also may not be experiencing the same fear or worry or anxiety as other people. And that is because you've already gone through hell. And so people who have gone through hell and are still standing on the other side, the next time a situation comes up, it doesn't shake you the same way, because you know what you've walked through, and you know what you stood through, and you know what God has brought you through, and you have a different level of resilience. You have a different level of perseverance, and the things that used to shake you or rock you don't do that anymore, because you feel like you have already gone to the depths of hell. You feel like you have come to the edge of death, and yet you've come out on the other side. And so I just wanted to address that with people who may be questioning their reaction right now. I'm hearing a lot of people say, like, is there something wrong with me? Like, hey, I'm thinking this, and they're whispering it like it's almost a secret. But I just want to say, like, there's nothing wrong with you. You are just a survivor. You have walked through and you've come out on the other side. Or if you're in the midst of that pain, the difference is that you feel alone and isolated in that pain. And it's very different when you can share the burden with other people. So I hope that helps somebody today. I hope that helps untangle some of the confusion. I hope that helps somebody know that you're not alone in what you're thinking and how you're processing this. But ultimately, everybody has their own way. Ultimately, we're all going to handle this differently. But my prayer is that for those of you that are on the other side, for those of you who have walked through hell and made it, and you have a testimony or something to share, that you would do what the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 1, and that is that you would comfort others with the comfort that you've received. So you remember what it was like when you were afraid, when you were anxious, when you were worried. You remember what it was like when you didn't know if you were going to come out. So those same things that God used to comfort you, if you have walked through grief and pain and loss and trauma, that's a gift that you now have to share with someone else. So I hope that this blesses you today. I hope that you are all praying for one another and finding ways that you can reach out and be helpful to other people. And I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Oh, and don't forget, tomorrow is National Day of Prayer. So be prepared to pray for others.